And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull two sources from the Tinker vs. Des Moines Pathfinder and cite them using EasyBib. So the Pathfinder, you have your handout, but this is the Pathfinder that's on the school's website under Library, Pathfinders, Tinker vs. Des Moines. Okay, so so going back to EasyBib, what you want to do is for a website, and that's all that we're going to use for this project, you're going to want to enter the URL here in this white box. Okay, so I'm going to go with one that I know will auto-generate, and that's this Adderley versus Florida case. So if I click on that, and let's say I read through it and I decide to use it, okay, all you have to do is copy and paste the URL in EasyBib and see what you get. And you click on Cite This. And sometimes it takes a little while. Okay, but here's what it says. So it says that they found the website title, Adderley versus Florida, the article title, same, and the date it was accessed, which will always be the day that you entered in the information here. And it says here also that it didn't find a publisher, when it was electronically published, or any authors, which is something that you're going to want to try and find as much as possible when you auto-generate citations. So I'm going to keep going with continue. Okay, and so for this project, the source type you're going to leave as content published originally. So we don't need to change the source type at all. The article title was automatically generated, so we're good with that. And then scrolling down a bit, you have contributors. And so if you don't know what something is in EasyBib, you can always click in the boxes and it'll tell you what it is. So it says here, add any article authors or website authors or editors. So you can go back and look for an author and editor, but in this case, we don't. This is a court case. There is no author or editor. So I can leave it blank. That's okay. Website title was automatically put in for me. The publisher or sponsor. So if you click in that, it says, who is the publisher or sponsor of this website, if known? It can also often be the website name or a company. So going back here, with Adderley versus Florida, you can, a lot of times you can look at the top of the website. So you have this big name here, OYEZ, U.S. Supreme Court Media at Chicago Kent College of Law. I'm going to go down at the very, very bottom and look down here because sometimes it's helpful. Well, and actually, in this case, it gives you the publisher here as well. This is already the MLA citation. So really, you could just copy and paste this into your bibliography. But just for me, I was already starting to lean toward a YEZ. And so, but here it says specifically, it is this OYEZ project at, looks like it's IIT Chicago Kent College of Law. Okay, so I'm just going to, even though this is already made for me, I'm just going to go through it so that you can just see what it looks like in the end. All right, but so you just copy it in there. I'm going to take out that period, don't need that. The URL is provided. Display URL, yes, your teachers want that, and a lot of times teachers and professors will, so you just need to know before the assignment what's expected of you, but in this case, yes. And when it was electronically published. So it says here, if available, when was the source electronically published? There is no date, okay, on here of when it was published. I mean, it has court case dates, but that's not the day that was actually put onto this page. That's what they want to know. And so since we don't have that, I'm going to leave it blank. And then it also has here on the site when it was accessed, which is today, and then create the citation. Okay, and so here you can see, here's our citation. Since there wasn't an author, right, for this information, there is no author at the very beginning, or else that would appear first. But you've got here the article name, the website title, the publisher, no date, meaning that was the day that it was published. We don't have that, so it's ND. It's a website, today's date when I accessed it, and the URL, all there for you. And if I keep going down, you see that a bibliography is now starting to form. Okay, so this is just my first citation, so not much yet. So let me go back and try one more. Okay, so like the game, and I'm going to go back up, and I'm just going to clear this up because we're done there. And I'm going to back up here in the Pathfinder. But here you have the game that a lot of people might use for the project, okay? But I don't have flash on this, so I can't see it. But let's say I read through it, want to use this for sure, okay? Now, I've played around with this quite a number of times, but I'm going to copy this for the Animated Classroom, First Amendment, Tinkerbell Des Moines. I'm going to try and put the URL in here, and so that I can cite it. And it's going to try, but no matter how I've tried to enter this URL, it doesn't come up with anything. And it's something that's going on with the annenbergclassroom.org, their cookies, something that's going on with it. So it can't do it for me. So I'm going to have to cite the source manually, meaning I'm going to have to enter in as much information as possible. So I'm going to continue. And here we go with, okay, so source type, leave it the way it is. Article title. The article title for this will be the First Amendment Tinker versus Des Moines. So I know it's a game, I know it's a little different, but we're just going to go with that because that's the most prominent thing that we've got. Okay. Okay, it tells you there also what an article title is if you're confused. We don't have contributors. We don't have website editors or article authors on that, specific people. A website title. You can kind of see in here, actually, in the tab, Annenberg Classroom, the First Amendment, Tinker vs. Des Moines. So I'm going to actually enter that just to go a little faster than going back over there and copy and pasting. Okay, and then Tinker vs. Des Moines. Okay, publisher or sponsor. And it says here Annenberg, the Leonore Annenberg Institute for Civics. So I'm also going to go to the very bottom. I just want to see here annenbergclassroom.org. And sometimes if you're not confused, if you don't know, if you're confused about who the publisher is, you can also check the contact or about us. I'm going to check contact just to see. It says contact us, Annenberg Classroom. So you know what? I'm going to go with that as being the publisher or sponsor. It sounds like an organization. So I'm going to go Annenberg Classroom. When was it electronically published? I looked that over. I couldn't find a date. I'm going to scroll through it here. It says relayed news, things like that. That doesn't count. Okay, I can't find it. So I'm going to leave that blank. When did I access it? It's today's date, and you can just click on today right here. Okay, and you go down, and you can create that citation as well. And so now, and again, no author, so we just go by the article title. You have here the website title, the date, no date for when it was electronically published. There's the publisher here before that, today's date, and the URL, okay, that we want that included. Okay, and so now we have my two citations, which could potentially be a bibliography right there. And they are in alphabetical order. The doesn't count here for titles. And what's nice about EasyBib now is that you have a few different options. If you want to save it for later, the only problem with that is you have to create an EasyBib account, which you don't have to do. What I would do is I would export or print, and you could print it right then and there as a Word document. It'll come out as an RTF, a rich text format file, which is very simple. It'll work on all versions of Word. You could save to your Google Docs if you wanted to. You could email it to yourself, and the email will actually have the RTF file attachment. They will also copy and paste the bibliography in the content of your email. And then you can copy and paste it right then and there too. So in general, EasyBib is a really easy way to go to create your bibliography. You just need to make sure to be thorough and to review your work when you're done.